Every year, there are a few shoes when images are first released. They're pretty much a shoo-in for top 10 sneakers of the year. Get it? Shoo-in? Last year, it was the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds, and this year, when news and images of the Jordan 3 Reimagined came out, that was pretty much an automatic. And if my memory serves me correctly, the Jordan 4 SB Pine Greens, the images of that shoe came out pretty shortly after. I think it did anyway. And that got people very, very excited, and rightfully so. So I thought for fun, why not put these two shoes up against each other in a toe-to-toe? Two of the most hyped and I think one of the best sneaker releases of 2023, and see which ones I would prefer. Now I want to kind of do it in a quantifiable way as well as a qualitative way. So usually for every shoe that I review, I give it a sole score, which is a total score out of 25 based on 5 different metrics. Each metric is a score from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. So the metrics are colorway, materials, comfort, versatility, and storytelling. For the toe-to-toe matchup, however, I think I'm going to remove the metric storytelling because I don't think it's really fair to compare a shoe that has a story to tell, that has a history to tell, with a shoe that's really, really great but was never really intended to actually tell any story. It's just really a great shoe with a great colorway. So I'm going to replace that metric for the toe-to-toe matchup just to keep things as equal as possible. I'm going to replace the metric storytelling with intangibles. Now, I don't know if intangibles is the best way to describe this metric, but essentially what I mean by intangibles is, how does this shoe just make me feel? Instantly, if I couldn't think about it for too long, with my gut, my first instinct, how does this shoe make me feel? Does it get me super excited? Or does it just get me pretty excited, but not like I have to get this shoe by any means necessary excited? So at the end, I'll total up the score. That'll be a max score of 25, and whichever shoe gets the highest score wins. Pretty easy. Now I did make a review of the Jordan 3 Reimagined, and in that video I go into much more details about the shoe itself. So for this toe-to-toe matchup, I'm not going to do that for these two shoes. I don't want to make it like a review of two shoes at the same time. So if you're interested in the Jordan 3 Reimagined in-depth review specifically, check out my video. I never made a review of the Jordan 4 SB Pine Green because I didn't actually get that shoe until very recently. It was my birthday last month, so I got it as a gift. So I didn't get that shoe until like months after it released. I didn't think the timing was right for me to make a review so late after the release of the shoe. Don't know, maybe one day I'll make a review of that shoe. Now the reason I chose the Jordan 3 and the Jordan 4 in particular, not only because they're probably going to be in everybody's top 10 sneakers of 2023, so the hype level, the popularity, and just the quality of these two shoes, pretty similar. And I didn't want to make a comparison between two exact same shoe models. So I didn't want to compare a Jordan 3 to another Jordan 3, because more likely than not, the comfort would be the same, the metric versatility is going to be the same depending on the colorway, I guess. So I wanted a little bit more variability on the two shoes. However, you'll see it is a very, very close matchup. Now this is the first time I've done one of these toe-to-toe videos. Might feel a bit clunky, so stick with me. Let me know what you think in the comments below after, but here we go. First up, it is colorway, white cement against the pine green. And boy, what can I say about these colorways? They're perfect in their own way. White cement, obviously a very historically significant and legendary colorway on the Jordan 3, an OG colorway. One thing I would have done different is instead of the sail, which is just completely overused in 2023, I think I would have just kept it white, make it the true OG colorway from 1988. That would have been better in my opinion. However, just along with the fire red, along with the white base leather layer, as well as the elephant print of course, the sail still looks really good, and it does play into the theme of the pre-aged aesthetic. It does still work very well. And the pine green, out of all the greens that Jordan Brand has come out lately, with the olive green, the mica green, the lucky green, I think the pine green is one of the better ones. It's definitely darker and slightly more muted than say like a lucky green, which is definitely brighter and stands out a bit more. If you haven't seen them in hand, the base leather layer, it's this off-white creamy color. It's not exactly white. On images it might look just like white, and it's obviously got these gray suede overlays. And probably my favorite part about this colorway is the gum bottoms. I love gum bottoms and the way it sticks out just a little bit, not the whole thing. Oof. It's hard to deny. This is a great perfect colorway as well. And both of these shoes obviously with the red Jumpman on the tongue, it just really makes these shoes pop. So for colorway, both of these are getting a 5 out of 5. The next metric is material, and both these shoes come with a base leather layer. And I will say the leather on both shoes are really nice. You can see, at least on my pair, the Jordan 3 white cement, the grain of the leather comes through a bit more, so it has that tumbled leather texture. However, for the Jordan 4 SB, my pair, even though you can't see that, when you press down, you can see that crease, that natural leather, genuine leather creasing. Love that. It feels so soft. It is just supreme. I love it. Now, unlike the Jordan 3s, this does have a suede overlay on the mudguard. And again, just like the leather, the suede is just so nice. Just, you know, Jordan Brand can produce shoes that have such premium and nice feeling materials. Just don't know why they don't do that for every shoe at the same price point. Just baffles my mind. It's like they're just dangling this little prize, dangling the salmon in front of a bunch of bears. Won't give you the treat. They just keep kind of withdrawing that salmon away from us. Now, the one thing I can nitpick on this Jordan 3 is this whole controversial thing about the elephant print. The pair that I got, even though the elephant print at least matched from both left and right shoes, it is thicker than the OG. Now, it's supposed to match the 1988 thinner elephant print that you see back in the day. It is thicker, so it looks more like a modern day Jordan 3 than like the 1988 Jordan 3. All that aside, just in a vacuum, I think thinner elephant print looks cleaner anyway. So when it came with the thicker kind of elephant print, it did kind of leave me disappointed. That's one thing I don't love about this material. I don't even know if you can like categorize it as material. I do, because I don't know what else to categorize the elephant print as. But that's the one thing that did leave me slightly disappointed. It's not enough for me to not like this shoe. I still think this shoe is pretty much close to perfect. But if I had to choose one thing, it is this thick elephant print. Compare that to the materials on the Jordan 4. Not a single thing that I would complain about. So for materials, because of the elephant print, I do have to give the Jordan 3 a 4 out of 5 and a 5 out of 5 for the Jordan 4 SBs. The next metric is comfort. Now, usually for a Jordan 4 against the Jordan 3, as a wide footer, it's a pretty easy winner. The Jordan 3 is one of the most comfortable shoes in my opinion. One of the best fitting shoes for my feet. The Jordan 4, usually around the toe box area, super tight. Even when I go up half a size, my toes just break after a few hours. However, for this Jordan 4, or this Jordan 4 Pine Green SB, it is such a comfortable shoe. It is like one of the most comfortable shoes I own. Somehow, Jordan Brand has made this Jordan 4 just super comfortable. And that's not normally the case for Jordan 4s. I know I'm a wide footer, but even if you have narrow feet, even if you have a normal size feet, I have heard a ton of complaints about the Jordan 4, specifically around the toe box. But for this shoe, trust me on this, mad comfortable. The padding around the ankle collar and inside both these shoes are just phenomenal. I could wear these shoes all day. I want to wear it even when I'm not walking. Just like literally have them on my feet when I'm sitting down, when I'm lying down. They're so comfortable. And also the tongue on these two shoes, just this material, just this squishiness. Oh man, the tongue. They got me going crazy over the tongue. Now both shoes do have a polyurethane midsole, so that kind of cancels each other out. Now there's a slight difference in cushioning. The Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagined, it has a Nike Air unit both on the heel and the forefoot. Now the Jordan 4 Pine Green has a Nike Air unit on the heel. Obviously you can see it just like the Jordan 3. However, instead of the Nike Air unit on the forefoot, it replaces it with a soft foam unit, which is apparently more grounded and more suitable for skateboarding. I've never skateboarded in my life, so I have no idea. But in terms of cushioning, in terms of the padding on your feet, I feel like they're equal. It's not very flat to the ground, but not too soft where it's like bad for my knees, bad for my back. I am old. It's like the perfect balance. In terms of like the difference in cushioning, quite honestly, they feel just as good on my feet as each other. So for comfort, definitely giving these two both a 5 out of 5. The next metric is versatility. What can I say? The Jordan 3 and the Jordan 4, in terms of just the silhouette, disregarding the colorway, perfect, legendary, popular for a reason, because they go so well with anything. Casually, formally, maybe not too formal, but still in semi-formal settings. I feel like these two silhouettes fit right in. I love it. There is slightly more going on the Jordan 4. Obviously there's that netting on the side, as well as the plastic wing that you don't see on the Jordan 3. I know a lot of people prefer the more clean and simple look of the Jordan 3, but I honestly, in a vacuum, I think they're both super versatile shoes. Now in terms of colorway, again, white cement, they're popular for a reason. Not just because they're an OG colorway, It's because it's just so clean. You can wear this shoe with so many outfits. They're very simple, white and black with hints of red. Just, you can't go wrong. And this shoe with the Jordan 4 SBs, even though it's not an OG Jordan 4 colorway, again, this goes with so many outfits. The green, because it's that pine green and not necessarily that brighter lucky green, I feel like it fits in very well. It's pretty subtle, it's muted, it just doesn't stand out or look too weird. Not to mention the gum bottoms. As an old man, I really like that look. I know it's an SB, it's supposed to be for skateboarding, but I could wear this shoe, this colorway with anything. So again, for versatility, I'm gonna have to give these shoes both a 5 out of 5. And the final metric is intangibles, and this is essentially what a shoe makes you feel. It's like instinctually, just without thinking too much into it. What shoe would I prefer? What shoe gets me more excited? Now, as someone that grew up in the 90s, as someone that still thinks Michael Jordan is still the greatest basketball player of all time, probably the greatest athlete of all time, even though my favorite player is Allen Iverson, I think objectively, MJ is still my GOAT. So the OG colorways, they just hit a different note for me. Now, also as someone that's never skateboarded, that's never really been into it, although I think if I picked it up early in my life, I would have enjoyed it, but I just never did. I'm not like a huge SB guy, they don't get me too excited. You know what I'm about to say. Instinctually, just going with my gut. If I had to choose, if I could only choose with 1 second to think, this white cement Jordan 3 reimagined, this just means too much. There's so much history behind this shoe. Even though I wasn't born in 1988, I just feel like this colorway, as a sneakerhead growing up in the 90s, I had to choose this. So for intangibles, I've got to give this shoe a 5 out of 5. For this shoe, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Not a whole number, because I do think, just looking at it at first glance, I just immediately like this shoe. But I don't know if it ever made me love this shoe instantly the way this shoe did. So the total score for the Jordan 3 Reimagined is 24 out of 25, and the score for the Jordan 4 SB Pine Green is 23.5 out of 25. So the Jordan 3 Reimagined wins by half a point. It's by the tightest of margins, and I think that score actually makes sense. They're so close, they're both so nice in hand, on feet. It's really hard to make a decision, can't go wrong, but if I did have to make a choice, if like my house caught on fire and I had to save one shoe, it'd have to be this one. So that's it. Thanks for watching Soul Inclined. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Let me know which shoe you would prefer, and if I got it wrong or you agree with my decision. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.